ASTRO, Monster Energy, Corsair, Zowie, and Intel.
For the last time on day one, welcome back to Atlanta. The sun is going down. You can see the lights begin to appear across the city skyline here in Atlanta. But we're inside the Georgia World Congress Center and we're watching our 8 Counter-Strike teams fight it out for that trophy right there and also the share of $100,000. My name is James and I'm joined here on the desk as always for the rest of today, Vendetta and Adren. How are you feeling? We're almost there. We're almost at the end of day one.
Yeah, we're nearing day one, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. But you know what? We have a little surprise, because there's a very special man on this desk who has a very special day.
Eric, you are special.
He is, but not quite the guy we
not.
were aiming towards, because, James, it is your birthday after all.
Yeah?
You're becoming slowly and slowly...
It's not the end of the show yet. What,
a bit of an older man, and to commemorate that, we have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
So, whenever we're ready, we have, a little treat for you, because you've been working hard, it's been a long day, and you deserve to get a little bit of a celebration to cap off another year well done.
I can see it. It's coming.
So you're 30 now?
It is. There we go.
Come on in. Come on in.
Don't
you have
be
permission.
shy.
Enter our space.
Look at that.
Thank you, Mia.
Does it have your name on it?
It actually has my name on it.
And your age?
Wow, and your age.
20 years old. Oh. Thank you very much. Does it actually have my age on it? This says 02. I'm not 2.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
James Oz.
No, is it supposed to be G? Yeah, Grats.
Oh, GZ
yeah.
Grats. That's
There you
good.
go.
Gamers, nice. Oh, this is nice.
Do you want to take a bite?
A different talent group would have put this in my face.
We're nice like that.
I'm supposed to blow it out on and make a wish.
Yeah.
Oh, shit,
you might
yeah.
want to like.
Yeah. There we
Got
go.
there in the end.
I heard chickens while I was doing that. Did the sound guy play chickens? That was good. Thank you so much, everyone at DreamHack, and thank you to all
Happy
of you.
birthday.
There are forks
Right, let's
here.
pass forks around. There you go.
Ooh.
There's a fork. Okay, so the rest of this segment for you guys at home is going to be us eating a cake.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I'm honestly getting in here.
Oh, let me get what is this, chocolate?
Oh yeah. It's
Oh, yeah,
chocolate.
it's
chocolate
chocolate.
on chocolate on
Oh,
chocolate.
God.
Chocolate. Chocolate and blue icing. Let's have a look at the groups as of
Yeah.
up to now. There we go. Group A. Sorry. I'm full of cake. We just saw Renegades beat Hellraisers in the winners match to go straight through to the semi-finals. Hellraisers will play tomorrow in a best-of-3 decider after Binary Dragons and Misfits have had their best-of-3 decider to see who will be that second Group A team to go through to the semi-finals. And then if we have a look at Group B, which is what we're going to be looking at next, we can see that our next best of one is EnVyUs and Heroic to see who our second semi-finalist will be. And then later, tomorrow, NRG and Godsent will be the next best of 3 tomorrow. Thank you very much for this cake. That's awesome. That's so good. I've got. Oh, we had a knife as well.
No, we're not fancy
Nah,
like
we
that.
don't do
We were
that.
supposed to.
Yeah,
cut
we're
We don't
it
have
first.
plates,
We're
though.
just digging in here.
Oh, we do
We
have
just went
plates.
straight in.
Yeah.
Are
It's your
these
birthday.
edible
You're allowed to do that.
Are these edible candles? Do you think?
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Can you try?
God, no, it's your birthday. I wouldn't take that, honor away from you.
I believe we're going to have a chat first about Team EnVyUs while this just sits here and enjoys. I'm going to enjoy it while we have a look at Team EnVyUs on the left-hand side of the stage. They are setting up and getting ready. We actually have an amazing matchup coming up here, really. Like, these are two of the best teams at this tournament. Both of them seem like they're on the top of their game based off the first games that we saw today from both of them. But first off, EnVyUs. Line up. Let's have a look at these guys.
Again, starting from the left, Sixer, XMS, Happy, Scream, and RPK. In the first game, we saw RPK just lining people up pretty much, being a dominant force, the tank that we know him as. And that's obviously a great sign for EnVy, and much to our pleasure, really. We didn't see any sort of step back from what we saw in Valencia. It was more continuation of where we saw them left off. And that's always a good thing, because EnVyUs has been so inconsistent. Happy even alluded to it during the interview after their first match, the fact that they are kind of streaky as of right now, and they're struggling to find that perfect recipe to make sure they get going at the start of every tournament. And with the tournament win, seeing how that's such an anomaly really for them, you kind of expect them to run off of this high and really take it further going into their next opponent. And I think it would be like a pretty nice added bonus for them, actually, in many ways, to be able to have a day off at a tournament, not having to come in tomorrow, face elimination in every single game, and have that added stress to them. So we'll see if that that entire talk he mentioned about having a different look at their mentality during the last 3 days, after Valencia, had actually paid off or not. But they're going up against a tremendous opponent in Heroic.
Very good segue to Heroic, as we do have a look at their lineup across the stage. The Nico family are here in droves. They are here with big signs, and they gave him superpowers in the last match.
Yeah, I mean, all of Heroic really played really well. And, the newcomer that you highlighted initially in the pregame, Esatag, had a monstrous game in addition to Snappy as well over that B-bomb site on Overpass. So, honestly, just good notes really all across the boards for Heroic. Really didn't see any sort of poor performances, them just kind of rocking about it as they usually do in group stages.
Yeah, I think the thing about that first match for Heroic was that it was on Overpass, which is one of their most comfortable maps, and they really just ran away with it. Everyone was hitting their shots, everyone was looking good, and Godsent just kind of looked underwhelming and not really prepared, so not able to really pierce that defense of Heroic. So interested to see what map we're going to get here.
Yeah, I mean, they did play in DreamHack Masters qualifier not too long ago. Obviously, that was a best of 3, so they both got their respective preferred picks in a sense, which was would be Train and Overpass. And if I'm not mistaken, the third map was
Inferno.
Inferno, exactly. The choice was between Cobble and Inferno. I want to say, because it's definitely like both teams have their standard bans, which would be Cash and Mirage, but if you're EnVyUs, you don't want to play a map like Nuke, for instance, versus any Danish team really, but especially Heroic. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in a similar scenario where both Cobblestone and Inferno are the last 2 remaining. Depending on obviously who gets the last pick, I think that can play a big outcome. I think Heroic might be a bit weary about going into Inferno, seeing what they did to seeing what EnVyUs did to NIP at Valencia, and obviously their previous experience in the qualifiers. So we might end up seeing a Cobblestone map, which again statistically is the better map for EnVyUs, but not a bad playing field for the Danes either.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time predicting who's going to win this one, so I'm going to wait till the map comes out to really. I don't really have a favorite right now until I see that map.
That's fair enough.
If
Don't
it's
worry.
Inferno, I'm going to
just
go
buy
EnVyUs.
all
If it's
shares. Just buy all your shares in one team right now.
I won't ask for your prediction until at least all of the maps have been shown.
Yeah. So again, yeah, this is fairly as you would have expected. The 2 standard vetoes coming out for both sides. Heroic banning out Train, which was the map they lost to in the qualifiers. EnVy following that up with an Overpass ban. And again, they had to veto Nuke at some point, just because it's not necessarily, well, it's not a bad map for EnVyUs, but it's just a better map for Heroic. And well, with that choice, Heroic decided to ban Cobble. So we're actually going to end up seeing a similar scenario to the veto as we saw in their qualifier games. And I'm a bit surprised by that. Sure, they would have had more information to go off of for EnVyUs because they've played Inferno more. They saw it versus NIP. They saw what they did well. They saw what they didn't necessarily do as well. But again, like a lot of scalps have been taken by EnVyUs on that very map. They've beaten SK with massive numbers. They took down NIP in a very convincing fashion by also playing, actually like doing stuff we haven't necessarily seen even the tier 1 teams do on Inferno, which is being disruptive in apps. And I think if EnVyUs are going to be allowed to do that similar thing, it's going to be so tough to fight for map or get map control for Heroic. And we know that Snappy loves to actually focus initially on getting map control, regardless of what map it is, to be able to set up his team for success. So I think that's going to be the name of the game. Who can control A apps, on their CT side and make the most out of it.
Do you remember who won the Inferno on the Malmo qualifier BO3?
It was EnVy.
It was EnVy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, last time I saw Heroic on Inferno, I think was DreamHack Austin. And I think that was when they were just trying to sneak it in as their permanent like 6th map to really fulfill their map pool and make it really deep. And at that time in Austin, I don't think it was quite there yet. It wasn't complete to me. Their T side was very lacking, with pretty much no banana pressure at all, and just letting the CTs control them, really dictate rotations and map presence.
Did they play that versus Immortals at Austin? I want to say.
They might have, yeah. Yeah, and it just didn't look complete, so I'm interested to see how Heroic has been trying to, advance their Inferno here.
Yeah, and even since then, they've, we talked about how they've swapped out Valde for Esatag, and Esatag wasn't part of the lineup in Austin as well. So whatever they started to build up with Valde obviously has to have a bit of a change, because there's no doubt that there's a difference between what kind of player Esatag is and Valde is.
Yeah.
So they fulfilled different roles, and I think Snappy alluded to it, initially in the winner's interview here, but also back in Valencia, the fact that Esatag is a guy that kind of just listens to whatever Snappy says, which is great if you're an in-game leader. That's like your dream guy. You want him around you at any given time. But it also does mean that you can build everything about your T side, for instance, very differently from what you initially did with a guy who might not necessarily do whatever you want because he has his own ideas and he actually has the individual skill to complete them at times. But we might see some changes in what Heroic has shown previously.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that Snappy interview up, because generally he made it sound like the morale in the team is quite high right now, based off being able to work closely with Esatag, but also across the team. That's going to be very important going into this, right? Going up against an EnVyUs who sometimes their morale can let them slip a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's also important, even if because when you go up against a very streaky team like EnVyUs is as of right now, it's very probable that you could end up in a situation where you're quite behind in terms of numbers. You might go down 0-5, 0-7 even. To actually have people who still just fully believe in whatever you say as an in-game leader is a massive, massive advantage to actually being able to build that comeback. And I think that Heroic, at least as far as we've seen so far, they seem the kind of team that doesn't necessarily give up regardless of what kind of situation they find themselves in, because they have that complete faith in what Snappy says. And oftentimes, the wrong call can still work out as long as you commit hard enough to it. And I think that's, again, an additional advantage that Heroic are going to have, to the point where when they actually execute, they're going to do it properly. They're going to do it by committee. And that even though you might run into a stack or something, it could still work out just because you're actually executing properly.
So it is time for predictions. Now that you've seen the maps, we can do that fully. Let's just work our way down the line. Actually, with me first. No,
all right.
I'm not going first.
Okay, wait. Okay,
hey, you go first this time.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are the birthday boy, so you can kind of decide.
I'm the birthday boy.
Yeah, you can decide what you want.
I am 2 today. I'm going to go for Envy.
All right.
Going to go for Envy, because on the flip side of what Snappy said in his interview, Happy in his post-game interview made me feel like their morale is very high, and it's not their first game of the day. They got through that kind of this jinx thing that everyone seems to think they have, and I think they can go into this feeling powerful and in turn actually be powerful. So Envy.
Yeah, no, I like that reasoning, and I mean, just the fact that Happy has interviews where he seems positive is a refreshing thing to me. I think that's kind of a new leaf. Yeah, no, weirdly enough. And honestly, with what they showed versus NIP on Inferno and Valencia, that looked super promising. And again, I don't necessarily think Heroic has had enough time to necessarily work specifically against that. Even though they might have expected a map like Inferno to come through it. Yeah. Hell, I mean, they even chose to go that route instead of Cobble. I still think Heroic Envy should have what it takes to actually take this game. So I'm all aboard the French train.
Yeah, I haven't seen Heroic's new Inferno since their roster change, and the last time I saw them, I wasn't very impressed. And EnVyUs just seems to have a better Inferno right now, so it's going to go with what I know. EnVyUs.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, so EnVyUs is across the board. I believe Scrawny and Launders are there as well to have a quick chat with us, and we'll hear their predictions.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Howdy.
You all right?
Happy birthday, James.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to not have cake?
It's okay. Empty.
Guess whose these are?
Oh, man, look, you actually prepared it as well.
I cut these for you.
Is that for production?
No, these are for you.
Oh, wow.
And
very thoughtful.
This one's for production.
Oh, okay. This is making more sense.
I'll bring these round in a moment.
Awesome.
So you can eat them while you cast. It'll be the sloppiest cast ever.
That's the way I like it. Any different. Yes.
So, guys, your predictions with goal gone for Envy. Are you feeling the same way, or you want to mix it up a little bit?
No, I'm not going to mix things up. I'm going to say EnVyUs as well. I think we got a really good showing of EnVyUs' Inferno over in Valencia last weekend. I think that RPK is going to be a shining star towards that pit on A site, and I think that it should be Envy all the way. But how do you feel, Launders?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I kind of agree with a little bit of everything that you guys have said. I've really done the math here, so yeah.
1 + 1 is adding up.
Definitely going to be Envy.
Are you feeling that positive morale that we felt from Happy in his interview earlier?
Yeah, by all means. I mean, it's actually really refreshing to see him kind of have that attitude. It's something that's just so stereotypically not of Happy. But it's there now, and it's super refreshing. Hopefully that shines through with their play.
Awesome. So it is time to find out. Heroic and EnVyUs, our last game of day 1. Take it away, guys.
Will do. It's just us now, Launders.
Intimate.
Very.
Yeah. Only thing missing is some cake.
Let's go, James. Come on.
Yeah. Keep it snappy.
No, but seriously, I think this is a really cool map for Heroic. Again, it's going to be refreshing to kind of see their new play on it. I just don't know what to really expect from them because I don't personally see Inferno as a map. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cut the analysis.
Yeah.
It's like the business. Awesome. I like that there's no forks.
Careful, don't get it on your shirt.
Oh, yeah. Not the party shirt.
Yeah.
Not on the birthday.
You have icing on your lip. Slower. So we're just waiting for these guys to ready up, of course. Everybody's in server. Everybody's ready to go. We're ready to close out the first day of Atlanta. It's been a pretty good first day. I'm actually glad that we got that bit of a barn burner in our last game, despite it being very kind of like spree-based and momentum-based and not back and forth with round count per se. I think that's something that we might get with Heroic versus EnVyUs. I think it might be a little sloppier. We might see that that very more back and forth type result. One would hope. Then again, we did see Heroic just completely dumpster Godsent earlier today.
Yeah, they really messed them up good, but I think that game was maybe lost in the veto. We didn't get to see the best of Godsent.
That's very true.
And definitely not the best of Pith either. I think he tweeted out actually that he had just an awful start, and I think after that like really extended pause, we saw like a couple really nice kills from him, and I think he was just starting to light up. So for whatever reason, couldn't figure it out. Then finally got his feet on the ground, but it was a bit too late.
Ooh, where's that?
Oh, just a nice flash for top banana. Works out well.
Completely blind CC Tag. He needs to just reel backwards towards the safety of the bags. He does have a teammate here to help out, but it's going to be exactly that. The headshot from Snappy as XMS finds the fadeaway, and EnVyUs find the 4v4.
Yeah, it's hard to say who this favors. Now, typically, maybe the T side, as we see, the rotation is forever, and they have successfully pulled someone all the way to B. Madi, Dinkton, Pit as well.
Nice headshot from Yugi, but then again, he finds another duel, and he comes out on top. Poor Happy. Left scratching his head as EnVyUs, they're left with the bomb plant. It's going to be that 2 versus 3. Now, there is no kit currently on Heroic. And Envy dry on utility. Bit of a little boost. Snappy going to take a gander over the top of the smoke grenade. Tries to pry into the bomb site. But he's going to spot nothing as Scream spots Nico and pops his noggin. Sixer from a distance, trying to find a headshot, will do exactly that. And Scream with the last. EnVyUs take the pistol.
Excellent recovery. After Yugi got that second kill, Happy successfully pulled off a lurk through that smoke at Arch. I mean, he had at least 3 or 4 bullets for free that he could have used to kill Yugi, but Yugi was too quick on the recovery, dodged that stuff like Neo, and was able to kill him with just body shots, actually just hitting everything. So now Envy up are buying 2 MAC-10s, a UMP, and a Galil on Sixer. One of my least liked guns.
It's just so inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like at least the FAMAS, while it's still questionable, Galil is just so wild. An uncontrollable beast in the hands of Sixer. We'll see if he can control it.
Pulse control being taken. This is something I really, I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's important to avoid going for halls control as a T, but with the new halls, it's a little bit more wide open. You don't have to worry about bedroom, which is a big deal, and maybe there's more of a reason why they're going for it now. But clearing it out with 2 people, I feel like is kind of a risk.
RPK is going to get flashed into the banana side. He will spot a bit of a kneecap. However, EC Tag takes the frag. It's going to be XMS to find the double trade, though, so EnVyUs come out on top for the time being as we see that flustered rotation towards CT spawn. It's a Yugi, and it's a Deagle. There is no commitment here from EnVyUs. Again, they do still have that lurk from Happy, of course, towards A. 2 players hold the line. Yugi at this point, of course, he hears a bunch of movement, but he doesn't have the confirmation of the bomb just yet. Now he spots a man towards site. Plant shines through. EnVyUs in full control, again with Happy still lurking over there. He's going to try to section things off, but instead he gets shut down. Maudie finds the timing and the best of him. Grabs the MAC-10, tucks tail, as Nico looks to gear things up with the Deagle.
Looking for exits at this point. They have a good opportunity to lock people into the site or force them to exit into these weapons, but I don't know if Monty is going to try to capitalize. I think it looks like Nico's going to try to take a duel here, push them onto Banana. Yeah, Monty's at the bottom of it. I wonder if he challenges.
You see EnVyUs keep exiting out. He could. Oh, unfortunately for him, he's not going to get the best of him just as of yet. 23 health for XMS. He's going to cower in the corner, and rightfully so.
There's still that incentive for him, even with just a MAC-10, to keep it, because this round they're not going to want to spend any money. I don't know if he's going to armor up B in front of this, but I'm not sure. It seems like he's just going to hang on to it and see what they can do. I wonder where they'll put him. That's kind of interesting for me, at least, to watch 4 people go towards B. Number 9 man Maudie is going to be with the MAC-10, holding down the A site. He'll feel very fortunate if he gets a kill.
A little bit of spam. That's about it so far from EnVyUs. Of course, again, we see that flashbang for RPK to play off of. He's going to check for the cowering player yet again, but there's nobody there. Heroic opting instead to go for this B site defense. And if EnVyUs walk into this, there's certainly something to be had. Luckily, that bomb, not yet committed, still sits towards the bottom of Banana. Meanwhile, Maudie gets tagged up. That's some damage dealt, and RPK continuing to look into the bomb site. Nico with a very crisp deeg. And now Maudie over towards App starts to gear things up. Does tag Happy down to 1/5 his health. Scream looking to anchor out, will catch Yugi. But that bomb's still not pushing either site, despite A being wide open. Now with Nico going down, we're actually going to see Sixer come back here. This is a bit of false confidence. Scream thinking he's plucked the players off the site, but there's still 2 standing. One of which ever close. They hear the bomb. There's the tag. It's going to be Scream on low HP, but Sixer able to protect him for the time being. Now Snappy, all that remains. He's able to grab 1 frag. That bomb's still oh so close, but it's gone like the wind.
Yeah, then he knows what's up. Yeah, turning tail to A. 3 players from EnVyUs, the last 3 remaining. That looked like it could have gotten a bit sketchy. They made some noise with the bomb drop. They committed to the wrong site there, but sometimes those gambles. Nice little strafe over the smoke. Not all that easy. I don't think you can. I'm not sure if you can straight jump that, actually.
I don't believe so. Pretty sure it's a strafe jump.
Yeah. So, with the bomb planted, this is a good round for them. Recovering the Galil is kind of a big deal. Wow, that didn't do as much damage as I had anticipated, but you can never expect to do damage with the Galil.
No.
You'd be a fool to think so.
The only thing you can expect from a Galil is utter disappointment.
Exactly. Or an ace.
That's true.
If it's your lucky day.
So here we go. The gun round is upon us. EnVyUs not only taking that pistol, but a pristine conversion of the following 2 rounds. How does this one single op make you feel, Lunders?
In the hands of Yugi, makes me feel good for Heroic, for sure. He is really, really good on both T and CT side at finding these opening kills. Is aggressive when he needs to be, always hits his shots. Like, he is super consistent. And that word doesn't get thrown around too often. The Hall's Peak comes out, no kill is had. A lot of damage dealt to him as well. And Wounded will fall back. Wow, very close to that X-ray. That wallbang.
Happy
Tagged but not out, though.
It's true.
Yeah.
Still in play, as is the Galil of XMS. But here's RPK towards the bottom of mid. He needs to be wary of that banana push, but currently it's Heroic with a very passive B hold. 2 guys at the back of sight, so there's nobody on either side really vying for control here. But a nice boost from Snappy. That's going to, I believe, allow for EC Tag to have a bit more mobility. He could start to head back towards the A site if they feel that pressure there.
I do not like how timidly they're playing. At this point, they've given up so much control to Envy. It seemed like the only bit of map control they're going for was Yugi with that peek and halls, but giving up top banana for free completely, I don't know. I'm very against this. Playing on site with such a wide open choke point, now that they've made the top banana that much thicker. I don't know, is that Molly going to hit them? Doesn't look like it.
No.
Whoa, easy tag, nice shot.
This is great. Snappy's boost, able to take 2 frags and easy tag as well. So what a setup here from Heroic. They just blunder the offense of Envy. Through the smoke, some damage is dealt every which way, but it's easy tag and Snappy with a full house on the B site.
Yeah, incredible hold. I was worried when they were both sitting up there in the site, no one even to crossfire or
That's
do
sick.
resist rotations. This ends up working out really well. Nullifying that Molly completely, Snappy doing all the damage he needs to, and easy tag getting that first kill as well. Critically important, even though he was smoke blind.
EnVyUs just scrambling to get this purchase in. We're seeing AKs, we're seeing grenades being chucked and tossed around. But nonetheless, it leaves Envy with 3 primaries and the double tech 9, going for a bit of a pepper play into the apps, just trying to keep Heroic back. And they have done so successfully, leaving Maudie towards pit and Nico by his side. The T's start to filter in and Maudie shuts them down. The bomb dropped on Balk. Easy round for Heroic at this point, unless we see EnVyUs fight back. They're going to try to fight, but they get nothing for it. A clean sweep from Heroic.
Wow, and I don't know how many people are in the cheering section for Heroic, but it seems like quite a bit. They are going crazy. This is looking good. I mean, they just had a super clean round. I think the problem there for EnVyUs is with their spacing was bad because 2 players come out halls. There's no one there at lane to put any additional pressure in, and typically you don't want to have so many eyes on players jumping out as your lane players want to come up. So ideal situation there. Better spacing for Envy, and maybe the strat works better.
Yugi wants this mid pick. Of course, the pistols shouldn't take him down unless they're able to get up alt mid, but based on timing, he then falls away. And I think we saw that a lot on Overpass, him going for those initial setups and then not being shy of just retreating towards safety. But Snappy finds no safety. Instead, he finds kills and then smokes himself off for a little bit of temporary cover, leaving the bomb on the back of Sixer to reel back as well.
A few deagles left on the server. Not many options either. I do like the aggressive B. It's extremely easy to hold on to B control for a little bit of time with a good smoke, and if the Molotovs come in, that shuts down a rush, no problem. And that really forces the T's to run down the clock, which I think is the goal on most rounds, if the tenets of Inferno hold true.
Little doubling down behind those sandbags. XMS wants the fight. XMS finds it. He takes the kill to Snappy, just to be traded back by easy tag. So again, minimal losses here for Heroic. Very good round versus only the pistols.
That was insane camera work. I don't know how he did that.
Magic.
Magic, maybe it was just magic, yes.
Voodoo magic.
DreamHack magic. DreamHack production magic. 3-3, but we have two rifle rounds to the name of Heroic. So that says more about them, I think, than anything else. Yugi, oh my god, she's actually running down mid into the smoke. Wow, that was crazy.
Again, just getting very ambitious with his aggression to immediately fall back from it. So lots of flavors from the opping of Yugi. You love to watch it. Little double stack from the CTs, able to trade one, but not the second. Happy gets the best of them and the man advantage in the hands of EnVyUs. Still further damage dealt, though, as Snappy starts to gear things up towards Banana. Yugi finds one frag, but Scream will take the trade, and that's the A site crumbled. Of course, the bomb plant shimmering through. Scream, the only man with health for Envy. Happy sits on 8 points. As both of these counter-terrorists start to come in from mid, Snappy has redirected out towards apps, trying to catch some kind of an angle, trying to catch a kill, but it's Happy who gets the best of easy tag, and now he needs to clutch. The flash goes wide, and Happy tries to reposition, could get caught out, needs to be cautious. Snappy needs to be quick. The time is of the essence, and he knows it, so he decides to fall, and that's it. That's EnVyUs with a 4th round on the board.
Indeed. I mean, that was definitely, you could say that for one reason or another, EnVyUs were favored in that after plan, but at the same time, Heroic had way more health to their name. So very lucky. I mean, very good kills to be able to win that round. I think Happy could have died in pit very easily. Snappy set himself up pretty well, tried to bait out that shot by putting his teammate in danger and then falling back into halls and hoping that Happy would overextend. but couldn't connect the bullets, which is at the end of the day what you need to do. We got a match pause.
Check that all, chat.
Oh, it's actually tech. Okay. A hot technical.
All the power's on, at least.
Yeah, at least we have power. That's a good sign.
And at least both teams have money, more importantly.
Money, power. Now all they need is respect.
Well, money equals power.
That's true.
But you can't buy respect.
But you can't buy respect.
What a blunder.
Damn good down payment.
Oh, man. I'm glad that we're actually still within these gun rounds, though. You kind of shamefully expect the pistols to just be very quickly quelled. And so this is a good game. I think we've been blessed, actually, with 3 pretty good BO1s to close out the first day.
Yep.
And this start so far has, again, been slightly back and forth. I mean, of course, we see the pistols all go the way of Envy, but they're already on the board, with a round. Mm-hmm. A round with guns on the board.
It's late. It's a bit late. What do they need to do? Yugi has, on his 2 opportunities, not died for them, but failed his tactics for his opening picks. Jumping down through smoke at mid, his Hall's Peak did get tagged for it. So ultimately he's going to want to look for more ways to do that, to open up the round. And that's going to be a big difference maker. A stat that I always like to repeat is that in the tier 1 and hopefully in the tier 2, if you get the opening kill, you win the round 70 to 80% of the time with proper adjustments. So that's the value of having an aggressive op on CT side, someone who's not afraid on a map that will favor you, especially if you get that first kill. Even on old Inferno, if you were a terrorist team and you got the first kill, or if you're on terrorist and you're a 4v4, you had the advantage in the round because of how spread thin the CTs were. So if you think about that, and then the fact that new Inferno allows for terrorists to have wider choke points to attack. B is a lot easier than it used to be in some ways. I guess the interesting thing, to just go on a bit of a tangent, is that because now that banana's wider, it's become easier, and because there's no fence and weird things to have to bank your nades off of, and no pillars and stuff like that, it's easier to do set-piece nade strats to defend on banana, and also wall bang all the way down to steps, making it difficult to actually get up on banana initially. But now that because banana is much wider, it's easier for terrorists to group and trade versus people who want to hold at top banana, whereas before, it was a death trap. It was super hard to get around. And that makes the meta fairly interesting.
I mean, it's actually been a while now that we've had the newer Inferno. What are your overall feelings with it, Wonders?
I think I love banana more than anything else. I think the 2 key things that they removed were the entities, car and truck. So car top banana and truck on A site.
Yeah.
Boiler takes by the end of.
Again.
Oh, there it is. Oh
and
no! Actually
misses
the shot. It looked good, but no, couldn't connect, and that's a big deal. He even gets away with that free shot off. So you could think this could be a 5v4 if he had hit that.
Can't help but feel like eventually he'll get punished for that.
Some damage dealt. Sixer actually takes a huge amount of damage. Bottom banana off that spray. And, oh, that's kind of interesting. They're being really crazy right now. Good flash. Top banana, RPK looking for a second. ESTAC ducking under the bullets, getting Scream as well. XMS, however, trades, making it kind of awkward. Snappy, though. Top banana realizing that they're not going to expect a third person and gets a little aggressive, even though he's the only person here. Ooh, that smoke isn't great, and I wouldn't be surprised if Snappy isn't sure of that. It might peek too wide, but he's found a good spot on Fountain. Lucky for him.
Fountain angles can always catch players off guard.
Yeah, Cold. Cold is so good at that.
Cold is so good.
Cold is so good. That sentence was too long. Should have stopped.
45 seconds, no bomb. Sixer, well, he's just going to go cower over towards T-spawn. So while we kind of, before this round went live, started to talk about the changes to Inferno and your feelings on it, do you think that there needs to be any kind of a rework over towards the current apartments? Because I still feel I don't know. I feel like those walls are still paper thin. And I'm not quite sure. I mean, I feel like there's not actually a lot of teams that will exploit it as much as they can, but there's so many little wall bangs you can use from the apps into the A bomb site.
Yeah.
You can pre-fire a lot of positions, and if you get a read of a team, right? If you actually have the pedigree and the read on your opponent, and you know their habitual positioning, then I think you can really exploit it. And that's something that I still have a bit of a gripe with.
So, okay, let me throw this back at you then. If Halls is traditionally very CT-sided, or something, just everything on Inferno was CT-sided to the point that it was just terrifying to walk into Halls, right? I guess the thought behind that, adding these wall bangs, makes it more T-sided.
Yep.
Is that fair, unfair? Whoa.
I think it is fair in the sense that on the T side from alt that you can still pepper those walls and prevent any kind of CT forward aggression. But what I would like would be more of a defense on the opposite side, so that once the terrorists are inside of apartments, they can no longer wallbang into the bomb site, right? Like I like stopping the counter-terrorist aggression. I don't like softening up the bomb site without ever having to offer yourself to them.
Okay. I don't feel strongly one way or the other, so just open to hear how you feel about it.
How Canadian of you.
It's still in me. I haven't left for long enough. I don't like this B setup.
This one-man forward spot?
Yeah, one man forward as a CT. I don't like that, but the flash is great. RPK was right beside him, actually. Yeah, he's in this position. Envy have a broken buy. If they did the math quickly, I think they could have figured out that Envy don't have a lot of money and that will either be saving or, yeah, I think they should have assumed they were saving and at worst force buy, which means you definitely don't want to be alone in that situation. Furthermore, do you even want to be atop banana at all? So I wonder why he was there just to try to get a flash kill when there's a high likelihood of like a walk explode.
If only he had been a second sooner, RPK would not have gotten his back. But instead now that gives EnVyUs another gun. We know that can be deadly. Scream, of course, on the AWP, seeing as Sixer is by the wayside. Nico and Madi seeking to hold this A site. Now, they haven't called for their reinforcements. They haven't gone for that full rotation, but there's 15 seconds left, so now they need to know what's going on. Madi trying to cower back behind the boxes, able to catch the headshot to XMS. Nico swings out, and he's going to take two. EnVyUs, with what looked like an execution, come up empty-handed. The only thing they get is that one kill towards Banana.
Yeah, from the traditional perspective, the bread and butter Counter-Strike, I appreciate that Envy got that first kill, grouped and hit a site, and did it with a full-on execute, basically. Now, they did do it with worse guns. They also haven't had success going up Boiler. That last round, they were a lot worse on spacing. This round, they were better, which is a good sign, but they didn't have the right, the right weapons to do it. Couldn't kill that site guy fast enough either, even though he was blind. Did a great job. So, are actually on now basically a Glock save. Tough spot to be in emotionally. Being on a Glock save is like, how long was your flight to Valencia?
In total?
Yeah.
With my missed connection flight and 6-hour layover in Paris?
In total, yeah, all of it.
18 hours.
18 hours. It's like being on a Glock save is like being on that 17th hour. Like you just want it to be over, Yeah. Let's move on.
Nice little lineup, nice little spray down, EC tag. Making quick work of the unarmed EnVyUs, who do get it out of the way, and actually able to find one frag in the process. So, could have been worse, certainly could have been better, but either way, it's done. It's going to be EnVyUs back on guns, but not a single op to be found, barring that of Yugi.
Yeah, so big problem in the last few rounds. They just haven't had a lot of plants. They've won out of the last 7, 2 in total, which is a big problem for their economy, and they just need to, even here on their full buy, could have benefited from having a plant. And you get a few in a row, and ultimately results in more full buy rounds, even on rounds that you lose in succession. So that is something they're going to try to figure out. Yugi fails to kill someone on a walk peek. Man. That's really rough.
It's multiple moments and opportunities that Yugi comes up empty-handed. 3 5v4s could have been easily found, and instead were tossed away. I mean, sure, they still establish it, but it's not off of his op.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to think about. And and Heroic are still winning this game. Yugi has 4 kills, 3 opening frags. He's halfway up the scoreboard. His team probably wins all 3 of those rounds, and Heroic are dominating this half. versus a team that can't get plants.
EnVyUs, though, getting closer to that A site. They do have the mid control, and Madi not willing to forfeit just yet. We'll go back for the pop flash, just trying to hinder Envy in any way. Goes for the wide peek, deals the damage, but Scream catches the headshot, and that is crucial. Meanwhile, Snappy to the corner, exposes himself with a frag to XMS. Looks to further the advantage now as he swaps back to the AK and tries to peek again, which costs him. Sixer able to find the headshot, but in the meantime, EasyTag is just retreated towards the bomb site. Yugi posts up inside of spawn, and now Envy with 25 seconds need to make up their mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get one kill, do a little bit more damage, and this round is more than likely sealed up. Also, just staying alive in general will help a lot. Envy taking a lot of time to get in the site, 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Great flash to assist. EasyTag and laying down this ADR. One person creeping up to the left, not enough HP to do anything about it. 4 seconds remain as our man from Envy jumps through the smoke. Happy dies before the time runs out.
Luckily, yeah.
Yeah,
so
luckily.
Yugi unable to connect shots, but at least connecting support. That was a big play that allowed for EasyTag to really dwindle down what remained of the time. And even good play by EasyTag to just leave Snappy over towards Banana, right? He's stuck inside of the corner. The terrorists are all giving up on that A site presence, so they know that they're going towards B. And as opposed to trying to bail out your teammate, potentially giving up 2 lives, he just locks things down. So I'd say great play from EasyTag, very cautious and yet successful. Yugi wants the mid pick. But it is just
your analysis is quite good for play-by-play.
Thank you.
Just like to go on record. I was going to say the exact same thing, that I think to untrained eyes, that would have looked like he was ditching his teammate. But if you look at the angles, there was no way that he could support him without basically himself getting bullied and then the whole site being able to be taken, as well as Banana, with Snappy with no good angle to fight from. So much better that he went to delay. And now Envy on another save, getting destroyed here because of their failure to be able to find a plant.
Deagles can be deadly. So can Madi. He's going to get caught in the process of a jump, and Nico up close kicks in the teeth of XMS. That's 1 Deag down, but 2 still standing with the P250s as well. However, there's a flank. Snappy coming in. And eventually they'll be filtered into the crosshair of Yugi. This time he does not miss. He takes 2 through the edge of the wall. Nothing stops this man as EnVyUs come to a grinding halt on their pistol attempt.
So I think some people saw an X-ray there that they tried to do a run boost to jump across through Arch. A lot of people don't realize this about Inferno, but you can't run boost on uneven ground. There's some area where it's completely flat or the ground depresses where you can actually do it, but in that situation, like, you will get stopped if you're the guy under, even if the texture changes by a degree. So I've seen a lot of teams. I've even seen, like, I think Fallen was a person who did a boost there where it just failed, or a run boost. But sometimes it is out of necessity, just because you have nothing else going for you in the round. You might as well try it. But yeah, it's really difficult to try to do run boost in a lot of places on Inferno.
I can't help but feel like we've really seen Heroic take commandeering control of this Banana side. I mean, EnVyUs have, set up RPK with a nice little pop flash to clear the top of Banana, but every time we see Heroic go for these deep smokes, it seems like EnVyUs struggle to take it back a little.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's nice on that note to see that Heroic are actually taking it now. Wow, that was really sick.
Disturbing shot from Happy.
Nightmare-inducing peek from Happy.
Scream wants some, but he's not willing to run through fire. It's hot enough in Atlanta.
That's very true. 107 right now. Top. Oh wow, that was just such a good flash. Blinds Monty for the rest of his life. Falls back into sight. Boiler's taken. Another boiler take. Let's see how this unfolds. Will we also have the lurk through the smoke at Arch?
That's a nice pop flash. Not able to make the best of it, though. That's the op now posted, and the op able to find a pick. Snappy down for the count, and RPK deals with that fast flank, the flank that had hindered them before. But Madi's still on site, and Nico's still in pit, and there's only 20 seconds to play, so Madi needs to anchor things down, and they don't know. Oh, it gets checked, though. RPK, thorough in his clearing of the corners, will find a round for Envy.
Absolutely, huge. I mean, the awareness there to get the flank kill right away and then kill the player in the site, who Madi didn't have to shoot a bullet, so he realized that he could hide. But I think RPK just checked that, because why not? Always check, you're planting the bomb, clear the entire site. Very good stuff from him. Overall, solid take. It ended up being a lot of work done outside of the actual boiler take before that was all possible, which I think is the big difference. going 5v5 at Boiler means the CTs have a lot of advantages. Up to 3 players there, a ton of angles they can work with. Their counter nades are going to work way better than aggressive nades, which aggressive nades have to guess where CTs are going to be, whereas CTs just have to throw everything at lane. And yeah, killing players in the extremities on the sites, having Sixer get that trade peek with that op, really nice op shot, well done by him as well, I think is what really helped them take the site.
We've seen 3 players from Heroic on this position. Yugi, EasyTag, and Snappy trying to make the most of it. But this time, of course, that's that AWP, so we haven't seen the op at that B site. Considering the aggression from Yugi, it's all been towards middle. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made for a bit of alt-mid control when it comes to the op. You try to peek out from balcony side, and you can maybe pluck a man from the back line, but at least now we're seeing Yugi can be dynamic, not only at A, towards B as well, but as he starts to feel the pressure, he will fall back. Do it.
This is what became quintessential on Inferno. Oh, if Yugi dies, oh my gosh, he actually gets away. Slick movement, is able to throw a good Molotov.
Misses the flash, though. Not a big problem as the terrorists don't commit. EnVyUs still sit on the top of Banana. Scream, prying for a frag through smoke, but unfortunately, they're choked up at the top of it. Utility getting low, but enough still to throw. EasyTag on the other side of things. He's going to get sectioned off, but not before he takes 1 frag and tries to further that. Shut down by Happy, as is XMS. The op paying dividend as we hit the 10-second mark. Through the smoke is Happy, and the fire section Snappy. 1-man advantage for Heroic as that bomb goes down. Now, the 7-8 score is still on the line, and this 6th could be crucial. But Heroic starting to just congregate their forces. Moving in as a single unit, working through the church, working towards the site. Happy with a bit of an off angle, helped out by Scream, but now he's been revealed and he expects the peek. He takes the kill. Madi finds the trade, and it is just Scream. Easy. Vintage headshot. EnVyUs with another round.
Absolutely. Very confident positioning there. Just relied on his crosshair placement, took a solid off angle. The other play would be to try to deny as long as possible. Instead, he takes the fight, and you should always play to your strength. Some players are going to be better at that than others, right? Other players are going to be better at denying, playing the log con, taking a bit of damage, trying to bait out the peaks and stuff like that. But you know, Scream's going to be better at like just taking that fight one-on-one. I think EasyTag, I really appreciate how he did try to help his teammate there, but I think that was another situation where he would have. Wow, that was nice.
I just mentioned that. Aggression inside of apps, you know, so it's cool to see that Yugi is mindful of his options.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, he would have been better off just. Yugi put himself in a position where he was opting from like the front of coffins, and EasyTag sprayed one from speed CT, peeked out a little bit harder, and tried to get a 2nd kill. I think if he had just gotten that 1st kill and fall off in the site, we're getting the red seconds of time, right? And at that point, that's when everything changes, where you could literally jump through a smoke to try to kill a planter and win the round, even if your team's not there. And I think that's the mindset he needs to be in.
RPK fully flashed. Was looking to take a peek towards Banana, but instead he's going to line up a smoke. That should go towards the top of mid. And now he's going to Molotov the spot that Snappy has been spotted. Able to still spray for the frag. EasyTag trades it successfully so. Of course, that leaves EnVy 3 players over towards the A site, and they're starting to vamp up their execution. Nico from above shuts things down. First and foremost, XMS removed. Yugi, fully blinded, has to retreat back, but it's Madi and Nico to hold the line. Yugi finds the last one as Heroic find that last round.
Yeah, that was sick. That was a lot better. And that's interesting. We've seen like successful boiler takes from EnVy, and then unsuccessful ones, like hard unsuccessful ones, and that was one of them. And I think a big reason why is they maintain that pick control perfectly. I love those pull the pin plays where they have someone on top of the balcony, he gets a kill, and he can fall off to an even better spot after getting like a guaranteed kill and not take any damage, even if there's someone right behind him to trade. So Nico playing pit to perfection, and Heroic coming away with a solid half. Only, I mean, a large reason that EnVy even have 6 rounds is because of that pistol in those first 2.
That is very true, actually. Half of their rounds come from the pistol and following conversion, so they must be content enough with this success to try and lock things down on the CT side. Now, I'm already expecting to see RPK play towards the pit.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of pull-the-pin play where we see Nico just fall off of Balk, I think that RPK sets up some really cool moments over there as well. And that Sixer will not shy away from the aggressive op peaks that Yugi was trying to utilize. I think there's going to actually be a lot of similarities to draw between the CT sides of these teams.
Interesting. Also, Sixer seems to be on point, whereas it's actually Yugi who's a tiny bit shaky. Seemed to have cleaned up his act towards the end of the half, especially that last kill on our player back calls. And the aggressive spotting from RPK to get that information, always pretty safe to do and always good to do it. Get like line of sight all the way down alt for teams who are running up. The timing means that you'll always beat them there. Oh. And Scream here to take a long-range battle. No better man to do it.
Interesting that they keep 3 players towards B, because now the terrorists are coming in on the opposite side, but Envy able to hold. RPK from pit, popping noggins over towards the site, drops the bomb in the open. Snappy tries to flank, and he successfully does so as he finds the kill to Happy and applies a bit of cover for Nico to play off of. But low HP is going to be dealt with. XMS drops the bomb, and now it's just on Snappy. He's been pinned in, but the flashbang gives him cover, and he's still standing, frantically fraying inside the site as Envy find another pistol.
Yeah, that was huge. That was kind of, and just as you were saying that was kind of a similar setup to what we saw Heroic pull off versus Envy. So, oh, nice initial shot. Wow. A couple of good kills there.
I love that he walks away from the second fight. Goes and picks up the guy on lane, which has been called, and then knows, of course, that he has that wall as cover. Like, to me, RPK is such a good player when it comes to holding down lines. B bomb site on Train, A bomb site here on Inferno. He's the kind of guy who just never seems to panic.
Yeah, that's true. He's a tank, and he has been super aware. Calling out this that he called out Snappy at the bottom banana. He was able to get that flank kill on that very important A take that NB have had, and those 6 rounds with this pistol are starting to result in a much more competitive game for Envy.
Now they're looking to milk the cash cow in this one. 5 SMGs. But a nice little nade setup here from Heroic. Nico with the flash and the second. Here comes the execution. Happy up close, able to just shut down the first man. RPK wants to support, but he's not given targets just as of yet. Now they come filtering through into the crosshairs of the SMGs. It is just the CTs with frags, barring one from EC Tag. Snappy, able to find a single kill here, but now he's already been dealt with. It is a rapid cleanup from Envy.
Gotta get the tab. I think you know, it is a pistol round, but I think it would have helped quite a bit for Heroic just to be a little bit more explosive. Again, the benefits of having the Tech 9 are the movement speed, and when you're close up, you're just as dangerous as any rifle, coupled with the fact that you can fly by them faster than they can fly by you and shoot. So you really deny yourself those advantages when you stop and start strafing left and right to try to take fights versus players, and especially on a lane take, gaining ground is everything. The hall setup. So another thing that I don't like is as a CT going in halls on an anti-eco. I kind of feel like you don't need to. Like, I think if you can justify playing a fully 5-man passive setup on a rifle round, then with like 2 people in pit and 2 people dedicated to B, then you definitely don't need to take these really aggressive fights in halls. But at the same time, they've got 5 SMGs, so maybe they don't want to be that far back.
Man, not only do they have full apartments control, but they have full banana control, just sitting at the bottom of mid. I mean, poor Heroic have no real estate. Rent is not cheap.
Definitely.
However, Maudie still gets himself out of the apartments. He's able to find 1 kill, the MP9, and some shots upside the chest. That's the cleanup again from Envy. Minimal losses, maximum gains.
They're really suffocating them there, and I think that does something to your mentality to know that a team is willing to push that hard on you at the very least, even though when they have all those advantages. And it can be frustrating to know that you can't get anything done in a round, and that even coming up to mid, which is supposed to be your territory as a team for free, isn't even yours. So really keeping them checked with that push. Now we have full nade hold. Oh my gosh. Scream just got naded down to 65 by Sixer at top banana.
Little bonding experience with the team damage. RPK did just spot someone inside of apps. Nico saw him too, so I believe that peak was off of the wall bang.
That smoke way too deep. And from their perspective, might not seem like it.
Who threw that? Sixer.
Oh, okay.
2 bad nades. Unless it's for exactly this, trying to bait the man in.
You can see it. Oh, wow. Oh, no, he didn't get that kill. That was close, though. But yeah, that would have been a good bait. Because from their perspective, I was thinking, oh, wow, they might as well abuse this. It'll probably look weird from the CT's perspective. But Sixer's up there with an op, just holding his angle with confidence.
Confidence is key, as is the hold on this A bomb site if, of course, Heroic decide to just gear up for the take. Meanwhile, Sixer in a crucial spot. He cannot go down.
Yeah.
That B site would be cracked wide open. Of course, 2 players here. They're going to go for the little check, and they get it. Great team play.
Jeez. I mean, they don't know, but they can run this site over right now, no problem. Oh, Mod even gets a lurk kill and hauls right away. That is truly rough. Rotates come in, though, really hard. 2 players here. It's like a brand new site.
Yeah, Scream just through the smoke, tries to line it up. XMS able to catch Yugi. Snappy takes the trade. EC tag going to refurbish with another smoke grenade. That's the plant in standard spot. Screamy wants the spam, but instead, Heroic find the plant. EnVyUs to the 2v4. Flashed is happy. And now, of course, that late lurk could be an issue, so Scream just starts to get pushing into the site, takes 2. Snappy's able to find the op trade, and now, of course, Happy comes back. He'd started to go for the save. Meanwhile, Madi spots him, so they know exactly what's up here. Happy with another bit of success. Could still play for sight. He's just going to charge in, and Snappy gets the best of him. An easy final frag, and that's 9-9.
Trying to put myself in his shoes. Where did you think that last player was? Potentially on Banana. Maybe thought he could get by, something like that. But anyways, gets opt. Really nice attempt there by Scream.
Yeah.
Precise shooting right there. Super good stuff. Heroic regain the lead. And I think in anticipation of a save, have decided to invest in just UMPs. Really smart by them. Thinking about that economy. It's never too early to think about your economy.
And retirement.
In Counter-Strike and life. Indeed.
3-man setup here from EnVy towards Banana. Again, they have that 1 op of Sixer, the single M4 on Scream. Bit of a curb by. They've been in tougher spots and still come out on top. Then again, I think Heroic have been doing a very good job of nullifying Sixer and really forcing him back to the bomb site. He's never really been able to capitalize off these moments. And even now, he wants to go for the fight, gets baited into it, and almost costs himself his life. But he's back in safety with 19 HP.
Falling back, receding all the way into Emo. And as we see, they're still worried about him, which is why it's good to sometimes just fall off right away, because they've still got to clear everything slowly. You can hear stuff because of it. They're afraid of an op, so they're not going to try peek stuff. They're going to run. They're going to flash. And now it looks like, wow, Scream wants to get a bit aggressive right now with his rifle. Oh, it's going to benefit from it as well. XMS pushing up with just his P250, and I think he has to reload. 7 bullets now. Sixer here to assist.
Yeah, that's a crucial frag, though, down to the 4v2. EnVyUs, again, working with minimal buy, could still make it out with the win. 25 seconds as Sixer gets forced out. And that bomb's still not planted. So, EnVy in a prime position. Heroic starting to scuffle. They've got the flash, they've got the fire, but they can't block off that peak. So Happy's in a prime spot to just lock this down. RPK wants to swing wide, but it's happy to be dropped by the op of Yugi. And now that fire plumes. So can the tank pull this off? Can he bust through the after plant? Low health for Madi, but Yugi is in safety. Madi peeks as Yugi does the same, and that's Heroic on the board with another.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Happy wanted to push in with RPK at the exact same time when the bomb is down. And the idea behind that is obviously if someone's planning, then they only have 1 pair of hands. That other guy only had an op as well, meaning there was no way he was going to take out 2 people if they both pushed in at once. But then they threw a great flash and completely blinded Happy, and you could see them kind of moving forward but then stopping. And that was, I think, a big reason why they're able to sit here right now with another buy, EnVy, and another save.
Heroic with a very real chance to establish this lead. These are the kinds of rounds you never expect them to lose. Ooh.
Ouch.
Just insult to injury. First you take the frag, then you take the boost upside the head. Meanwhile, we see EnVyUs get aggressive here. They're actually having 3 players towards this site. Snappy makes quick work of RPK, smothers him with a couple shots, and will do the same to Sixer.
This is so much money, too. Really clean stuff, hasn't taken any damage, has the opportunity to basically ace now with just a Mac 10. Wow, good stuff. Really solidifying their lead. I mean, they're thinking about their economy, they're winning rounds, they're winning clutches. This is a big deal. Even though EnVy are close, again, they have won both pistols in this game, and they are losing by a slim margin, but it's growing. Back to the drawing board. We have 5 rifles for EnVyUs. Unsure what the play is going to be, but they have all the utility to do anything they want.
A little bit of a preemptive firing of the AK. Trying to keep EnVy honest. I like to think they are.
Definitely. I like avoiding, when you know the other team has like Molotovs, just avoiding early banana pressure, early top mid pressure, just defaulting for a second, because, you know, rushing B is the same if you rush 20 or 30 seconds in with no information than it is rushing right away. But if you rush right away, you're in danger of, like, you know, a carpet bomb of Molotovs, a smoke behind you, and dying blind. Whereas, like, right now, no, the place is completely empty.
Bit of variation here in the setup of EnVy. We've seen players to the back of the site, but not to the top of the boxes. XMS lies in wait, ready to spring his trap. Could go for a boost in the corner, allowing for a player to peek in sight. Looks like we're going to go for the heroic set piece with that late linger from Maudie. Again, playing that lurk role quite effectively. He does it on overpass, trying here again. XMS fully flashed, as is his opponent, and Scream through his teammate, catches a second headshot. He's just too good at that. Bomb to be planted unless the spam connects, but Scream's able to drop Nico instead. That's the bomb still down, but the man advantage in the hand of EnVy.
Oh, we got a man in CT. Maudie, player to watch right now. Oh my gosh, he's seen 2 people. He knows that one more is coming as well, and they have to think about him.
This is a round-winning play from Maudie. Heavy impact, but Sixer gets the best of him, and now the retake is still possible. Time is of the essence. Yugi trying to hold the cross. He's going to get flashed up, so now that cover dealt with, but he re-peeks into Scream, takes himself the kill, and EnVyUs left desperate towards the site. Snappy, he's going down with this bomb, but he is going away with another round. That's heroic to 13. EnVyUs sit on 9. Happy gets something of a success as he fades away with the M4 as well.
Nothing short of fantastic. I mean, textbook stuff, just really applying pressure perfectly right now. Heroic looking strong, and Yugi really smart to not peek at all, just on that second guy who was just waiting for him, because he doesn't have much of an angle to work with. Could easily get pre-fired off of a shadow, and this is just criminally unfortunate, I think. Oh, the corner of a smoke. It had to be a headshot too, didn't it?
3 kills through smoke that round.
That's true. Zach?
Do you think that Maudie should have been maybe a little more patient with that late lurk once he got 1 kill and he knew those players were dealing with him? Because, I mean, of course, he knows that second guy's coming over from the A site, but maybe he doesn't expect Sixer to come help out?
I think he was worried about the players on the other side of the building from him.
Yeah.
I think he was worried about which side he would come from, and that he felt like he's got to take a fight right now. But I also think that he didn't expect Sixer to just destroy him like that when he saw him. So I thought he'd be able to get a couple of bullets off and then choose his fight once he knows who's fighting from where. But yeah, tough spot to be in. I mean, yeah, on another day that could have gone. He could have just stayed alive and just been a nightmare for them. Even if you ran all the way back through Banana, they have to think about their flank. That would have been the best case scenario.
Give him props for even just getting into that position.
Yeah, don't even know how he got there. Sneaky.
By walking.
That's right. Shift.
So, of course, this is the tactical pause for those of you out there from EnVy. Good time to call it. Heroic still 3 shy away from walking away with that 2-0 group stage. And that's what we saw them do in Valencia, actually. Just straight into day 3. And it was only there that they flubbed their run towards the finals.
Right. Yeah, just no money to work with now. I mean, they're in a pause. People have talked about how, like, you don't want to take a pause when you don't have enough money to buy the next round. I think we saw that in the first game of the day. I can't even remember what which round it was, but they paused and then they went with a strategy that would have worked well in a rifle round. They just kind of like used it after their pause in the saving round. And
that was godsend on the T side of overpass.
there you go. Now it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything like that right now. I also don't know what that ace in the hole strategy is for them.
Very true.
But yeah, they might be talking about the future, the rifle round.
This is a conversation that I had with Pansy in Valencia, was that it's interesting to me that when we see EnVyUs go for this kind of catalyst buy, whether that be with an AK or an AWP, just that one single rifle, Happy keeps it. It's his play, it's his gun.
Right.
So you're not putting an AK in the hands of Scream. And Pansy explained that even when Kenny S was on his lineup, he would take the single op over Kenny. So it's very interesting to see Happy try to, put himself in that prime position. But I think that obviously just kind of,
I'm super against that. Like,
yeah,
I just give your best player the gun. That's like kind of the bottom line. But it also depends on what the tactic is. But if he's doing it every time, it's gonna like,
We shall see if it works. It doesn't. Madi immediately removes him from the side of pit, so Sixer desperately attempts to find a trade, but it's EC Tag to help out Yugi, who gets himself an assist and the fadeaway towards Boiler side, where this other CTs line up, and Yugi's just going to make quick work of them, swapping to the Tech 9 and peppering XMS with further damage. 13 health, not enough to work with. Snappy takes the frag. And that's Heroic now sitting on 14, so this is looking very good for them. But, of course, that pause from Envy wasn't just about the one single AK on Happy.
Yeah.
It was about this round.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what he had cooking up here and now. It looks like Sixer has just enough to buy an op. And oh, he's not going to do it. Wow, 5 rifles. Not necessary that you op on Inferno. Definitely not necessary. Some people still feel like it might slow you down. Rotation's super important, stacking super important. Also, the op just wasn't working for him that well on Banana when he's holding it by himself, so maybe something they want to shy away from. You still have advantages as a CT, but and it also does wonders for your economy. Just not have to invest in what is basically a 5K weapon every single round.
Look at this, not a single flashbang here. Heroic just dry walking up through mid, and Sixer gets the best of Snappy regardless. Goes back for the pop flash, and will take a second frag. That's EC Tag down for the count. And Heroic down a man. But they are up on map control as Yugi is able to just skewer Happy from the side. That gives space for the bomb to come in, but RP Tank holds the line, or at least he tries. He is denied, as now it's Heroic with a man advantage, but certainly not the health. Madi, 23, 71 on Yugi. And XMS in smoke. Wants to try to use the bicycle to just peek over the top here. Of course, the man in pit not offering himself whatsoever as Scream gets in position. He wants to try and just scuttle this hold, but it's Nico with a headshot and a crucial one at that. It convinces XMS to fade away. He'll save to fight another day in the 25th round, where Heroic are on map point.
Wow. And you just see it come down to 1 kill in that situation. You had 2 players from Envy running down Banana as soon as lane was taken. Then Yugi gets this op frag, and you're still thinking, okay, this flank's coming out. All they have to do is delay a little bit longer. 2 side guys go down without a kill, and that's it. Like, Heroic are now in a 3v2 bomb plant situation, expecting flanks, not having to worry about anyone in front of them. And unfortunately, Envy couldn't come together as a team in that one and just delay a little bit longer. Heroic now just looking fierce, set up to win this round. Obviously another buy for Envy. Scream's got an extra 3K in the bank, but again, just all rifles.
Oh, and immediately Yugi's able to get himself a kill. Scream attempts the late cross, and that does cost him. Heroic primed for the 16-9. Unless EnVyUs have something to say about it. Happy has the pin pulled. It's all going to come down to a matter of timing. If they can fully flash a man in apps, then suddenly EnVyUs can swing this back, but Heroic reel backwards.
Yeah. Now, if they could see the map like we could, B would obviously be a very tantalizing thought, because they've got one person here, XMS, in a rotator spot with a rifle. Beautiful sight to take. They throw a smoke on him, they wait, he pushes through or flashes through, then they take advantage of him, and it looks like they are opting to go B. I mean, this is looking like a good thing to do. Even him rotating in allows them to get in safely. Immediate rotation comes in, flashes well to assist. No one there for him to take advantage of, however.
lucky to have been able to get into this spot, and he's yet to be sectioned off. Despite the fire, despite the smoke, XMS still close.
Wow.
Now he knows. Reel back. Hold on. Try to find a connection through, but that bomb still needs to be planted. Yugi, again, from the very same corner, times the peak perfectly, but XMS is able to grab one headshot, and there's another op frag. Big plays from Yugi, 3K on the round, looking for number 4, looking for furthermore, but it's XMS who gets the next. And now he wants some more to the back of the site. Nico with a headshot. It is just down to Happy. He's able to connect the first, but he needs 2 more. And that bomb is ticking quickly. Taps it once. He has no kit. And they know he's not on it. It's Yugi with a 4K in the last round, and Heroic to just move their way through the groups. 2-0 their start yet again here in Atlanta. Back-to-back clearing of the group stages between Valencia and this. Fantastic to watch. They're able to keep that commandeering lead. And hopefully they can translate that into success on Sunday. But here we are, Launders, at the end of day 1 with Heroic in the semifinals.
In the semifinals.
Exciting.
Wow, very exciting. Very excited for the fact that they flew all their families and friends down to watch them play. I mean, this is a great showing for them.
3 generations of Counter-Strike fans.
Of Counter-Strike fans, wow.
In a kernel here in Atlanta.
To see it.
Yeah, you'd love to see it, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, they look solid, and Yugi just wow in those last few rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like he was definitely under a bit of scrutiny when we saw him on the CT side. I feel like his op aggression wasn't really working out the way he would have hoped. He definitely tried to have that presence, not just only towards mid, but also at the B bomb site, also inside of apartments, and ultimately it didn't work out. But he switches over to the CT side. He looks fantastic, as did the entirety of Heroic. I think that everyone at one point or another really kind of stepped up to that level.
Yeah, absolutely a team effort, picking all the right sides to stack, going for aggression when they needed to. They were really hitting every check mark.
Yeah,
so,
with flying colors. They've passed the group stage. I mean, that's just, even in Valencia, right? We see EnVyUs have a very shady first day. They actually go down to the losers match because they lose to KPI Gaming, the local Spanish team. And then again today, they looked fantastic. So here I am thinking that EnVyUs are just going to come flying out of the gate, and yet they have hit at least one hurdle. So
chain logic.
That's true. You can't rely on it. Not my forte. Smix is ready, Launders. So we're going to throw it on over to her. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, S-Tech. Back-to-back top 4s. That in and of itself is a great result, but to do so by taking revenge on Envy for that loss in the Melma qualifier, that has to feel so much more satisfying.
Yeah, we were definitely expecting a fight because they're a really strong team, and if they hit the day, they're super good. So I'm surprised that despite they won both pistols and got a great start on both sides, we still managed to take it 16-9. But yeah, I'm just happy. We're really tired and we're really hungry because everything was closed and there's been so many delays. So I'm just excited to get back at the hotel and order some room service and get some sleep.
Well, despite everything that you said you guys were struggling through, last time when you played Envy on Inferno, the score was 16-7 for their side. What do you think was different for you guys this time? It just seemed like you were so comfortable throughout the entire match.
I mean, it's hard to say. Maybe we just had a better day. But we definitely looked at some things. We've been practicing a lot of Inferno lately, a lot of flashes and stuff that's been going well for us. And I feel like this time, we just had a better read on what they did. We knew what they did from last time, so it just didn't work for them, I guess. So we're just happy with our win here and the revenge. So.
Well, now you get that day off, and having beaten one of the heavy contenders for this event, do you feel pretty confident? Is there any other team left that scares you?
I mean, last time we lost to Red Reserve, so I'm not going to say a lot. But yeah, we feel super confident. I mean, we're definitely hoping to take it to the finals, maybe take the finals. That's our goal. So that's what we're going to try and show. And speaking of that day off, I mean, tomorrow is going to be great. Just chilling after having a long day of sleep. I mean, it's going to be good. I think people are going to go to the zoo and stuff. We're going to have a lot of stuff to do. I mean, Atlanta looks great.
Well, congratulations again. Hope you have a great, fantastic day off. And with that, Heroic will be joining the Renegades in the top 4 here in Atlanta.
A well-fought battle for the last game of the day. The Nico family support out in force, and it surely did work there for Heroic.
Definitely
Fantastic
did.
showing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it definitely showed that they've been practicing. I think initially we talked, last time we saw them, the fact that they didn't necessarily have that much control over Banana, kind of gave up that
a lot of times early on. We didn't see much of that at all on their T side. They were good at actually pressuring CTs back. Even on the CT side, they were able to make it work. And as Attack said, the fact that even though EnVy got off to 2 great starts on both halves, they weren't able to capitalize off it. I think that goes more down to Heroic playing well more than EnVy's playing poorly.
Yeah, I think you could definitely tell that they've been building their Inferno and actually practicing it. They had some set executes. They're hitting the A side, the B side. Then that B execute, EnVy just never stopped it.
Yeah.
Just didn't have an answer for it. It was just everything was pretty much covered. You had your spool smoke, your spawn smoke, your molly for the oranges, your molly for the tri-box. So they really hit all their nails in the coffin there, and EnVyUs had nothing to reply with.
What was weird to me is that oftentimes we'd see the 2 EnVy defenders on that B bomb side actually get split up. So it was like XMF's left on a lonely island for himself, where he would actually have to take a fight that obviously doesn't pan out too long when you're going up against like 1v3 versus flashes, smokes, and Molotovs raining down, and Scream kind of getting isolated behind all of these smokes and everything. So surprised we didn't see a different take from EnVyUs in terms of maybe like boosting, the classic spot by pool, for instance, just so you get some additional vision above the smokes where they still have one guy on site, that kind of thing, to combat the fact that you're playing against a very execute-heavy team, or at least in that game just relied very heavily on executes to kind of get around it. But again, it's hard to make those adjustments on the fly, and I think Heroic did the best out of their situation.
But is it though? Should it be difficult for a team like EnVy to make things like make adjustments on the fly? Because this is a team that should be able to adapt to a team like Heroic. There was a couple of instances I saw where like Happy and RPK playing in pit, where we saw them dominate last weekend in pit, and they just couldn't seem to really work out where Heroic were coming from in this instance.
Yeah,
that's got to be an issue they've got to work on, right?
Oh, definitely. But then again, that's credit to a good T side as well, being able to mask what you're planning to do. It's like if you set up for the same default 5 rounds in a row, but you always have a different result, the initial giveaway that you give to EnVy doesn't really tell them anything at all. So at that point, they're second guessing themselves, where they're not, oh, the last 3 times they did this, they initially started up towards pressuring mid and quad, but ended up on B. So what do we actually do now? Do we actually have one guy rotate off B? Are we stacking up on B instead because they ended up there with their execute? All those kind of things play in massively to what you do and what kind of decisions you make as a CT. And if you manage to really get into the heads of a CT side and mess up their rotations because of stuff like that, it becomes such a much easier job for a T side to actually work around the map. And I think Heroic have done, just in general, a very good job of that, regardless of who they've been up against or what map they've been playing. And that's the benefit of having a well-structured side.
And so EnVy now, how are they gonna be able to bring back this kind of fire that they had earlier today, this positivity, this morale that we heard from Happy in his last post-game interview? Now they have to bring themselves back through this lower bracket of the group. So what are they going to do to bring that fire, Eric?
Well, I don't think there's anything to be down about if you're EnVy. You lost to BO1, okay, you beat them the last time you played them, so maybe they just kind of counter-strateged you, or just had a better day, better second game, I guess. So, I mean, just don't get down on yourselves and just focus up on who you're going to be facing in the lower bracket.
So I've had word in my ear that we've had the daily predictions totaled up.
Oh,
we both got that.
Oh,
yeah. No.
Why that reaction then?
No, because obviously the last 2 games didn't go as according to plan, right?
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, I just want to point out I'm not an analyst. That's what I want to say.
I'm just going to point out that C's is weird.
Yeah, so I got 4 out of 6.
Not bad. I think you might have actually outdone me.
I feel like you've copied me every single time.
Yeah, maybe I did. I didn't do it on purpose, but I think it was the Renegades one, wasn't it, that we stuck together. Yeah, Eric, you also got 4 out of 6.
Yeah. I'm going to be at 3 out of 6.
I got 3 out of 6. Not an analyst.
Those Australians screwed me over.
Yeah, they did. But still fantastic showing by all of the teams today. So let's have a quick look at the brackets as they stand, the groups first. So as we see there, Renegades beat Hellraisers earlier on today to go through to their semi-finals. Binary Dragons, Misfits and Hellraisers tomorrow will fight it out over best of 3s to see who that second team will be. And we just saw Heroic go through in spectacular fashion against EnVy into the semi-finals. They get a day off. They get to go to the zoo, while the rest of their group have to fight it out tomorrow. As we can see there, Heroic and Renegades, the two teams out on top. What kind of strats do you think they'll be getting from the zoo?
Oh man, there's so much to go off of. Like,
Yeah, what kind of animals should they base their strats off of?
oof,
The chicken?
chickens. Yeah, that
I
would
don't
be
think there's
great.
chickens there.
Great timing.
That would be kind of a disappointing zoo. Let's be real.
Just the chicken.
Get to a zoo, like the main attraction is like the chicken farm or something. Wouldn't be the greatest.
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't see a
actually,
chicken.
if you follow like the chickens in game, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but you could get the chickens to follow you.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
You can claim them.
exactly. You can
they'll
round up a
spawn
little
clo-
posse, just run around,
Basically,
terrorize
like an
neighborhoods.
in-game leader. That's what it is.
Yeah.
As an in-game leader, you just have a load of chickens following you. I don't think that's a good strat. Don't. If you're an in-game leader out there, don't follow my idea of a chicken strap because I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not.
I've seen a couple chicken strats today.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Any last thoughts about the day? Let's wrap up. Let's go home and have a rest. So we've got a big day tomorrow. Four best of threes.
That's true. Again, positively surprised by Renegades. They definitely came to play. Even though we only got to see them play on Mirage, still, good showing. Heroic again, just doing what they've been doing for the last couple of times, winning group stages, making it to semis. Hopefully they can bring that into something more than just a semifinal exit from now on. They definitely look to be good enough to actually make it to a finals and even more potentially. Outside of that, excited to see how Hellraisers will do if they'll bounce back from the defeat today. Outside of that, I think things went according to plan. Again, I guess the biggest question mark for me is what the hell are Godsend going to do? That's going to be fun to see as well in the best of 3 series.
Yeah, I guess we'll see that. Eric, any last thoughts about day one?
Yeah, I think Renegades was the biggest showing here.
Yeah.
Their 2-0 victory. I thought they looked very well. They were looking down, like almost through that second half of the Mirage, and then it was actually really nice to see them stick it out and win that second half on their CT side. So they were the positive thing of the
day.
first
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, Renegades, Heroic, both teams go through to the semi-finals. A very successful first day for them. Thank you both for joining me on the desk all day. It's been fantastic. And thank DreamHack for this thing. Hold on, it's not in shot. There you go. Can't really tell what it says that way, doesn't it? It looks like it says Zumba.
Zamba.
That means
But
once we've eaten this, we'll need to go to Zumba. I think that's what it means anyway. Thank you, all of you at home, for joining us. First of all, before I leave, I do want to thank all of the sponsors, ASTRO, Monster Energy, Zowie, Corsair, and Intel. Thank you for allowing us to put on this show. It's been fantastic, and we still have 2 days left. Elimination matches tomorrow, 4 best of 3s. We find out who our next 2 teams go through to the semi-finals. Join us tomorrow morning. See you then.